Hello. If you've seen my last video, which was a mess, you'll be pretty close to where I am right now. This will not be another tutorial, but I'll go through basically all these steps one by one and show you how it works. Anyway, the tool is working pretty much how I would like. I'm pretty happy. The buildings work again. The ground plane works. There's not any random holes. There is some messed up geometry, but that's because of the building, the in-program building generator. I'm sure if I went to the trouble of making my own building generator, it would fix it. So yeah, this is working pretty well. It's not, I haven't gone through a beauty pass to make everything look good, generate trees or whatever, make roads have texture other than this. But that could be another long while before I'm able to do that. Anyway, let's go ahead and start all the way at the top. Just generate. We generate a grid. We put some scatter on it just to generate points. Then I use a fuse at a grid scale to create grid lines for roads when I blast away all the other points that aren't snapped. See, if I increase the amount of count, there's going to be more like little tiny subdivided roads. So if I put it up to like 10,000, there's going to be a ton of roads here. What you might want, I had it about something like that. Generates a decent amount of roads, but gives good straightaways. It could be larger. Let's do 6,000. Double it. There we go. That's some interesting. But I don't like this. Let's do a different seed. That's pretty interesting, maybe. That's an interesting road setup. So what it's doing here is it's sorting them into columns and rows via just figuring out, this just figures out where it is on the x-axis and the z-axis and then puts it into columns or rows. And then you sort by z, and that will give you one row. And then I just subdivided it, so I get a lot more points. And do the same thing on the other side. It's again, then you merge them back together, and you get this, which is more or less what you're looking for in a road system. Obviously, you could go back here and set this. I think if I set it flat to 100, then everything will be snapped pretty well. Yeah, see? Everything's exactly on 100 scales. So it's just a matter, this is where you would decide how big the blocks are. So like, if you wanted blocks to be, I don't know, it's 250 by 250. Oh god. I don't know if Y actually changes anything. Yeah, you have to up your scatter, or increase probably your size as well. Let's try. Oh wait, no. Add another 0 there. And increase the tolerance. By increasing the tolerance, it'll grab more points. But as you can see, at 250, these are pretty big blocks. So let's bring it, let's make it 150. Oh yeah, you can like get it in different shapes, so you can have rectangular boxes in completely grid scale. Let's bring this it's pretty nice and random. But it's 100% grid-like. What was it before? It was like 110. 110. And then this was like 3,000. Let's do 6,000. And then this is for... That's an interesting road setup. See, we got a weird back road. Yeah, I like that. That's a good road setup. Anyway, moving on. Maybe this won't be faster. Last time I think I said it was gonna be faster, but methinks not. Okay, let's do this. So this is where you can generate your own roads. You don't have to do this. This is just for automated, you know, super convenient road setups. This is custom roads areas. So let's delete all of it. Create a new curve. And then from top view, where do I want to draw? Where do I need a road at? Where would an interesting road be? What if there was a road from here to here? Alright, let's try another one. And this one will go from here. Why isn't it snapping? Is it not on? It's not working. Why isn't curve working? This is just a basic tool. I think you can see what I'm dealing with here. Enter. Snap. There we go. I'd have to move that point. I'm gonna re-sample it. I don't need that many. I need like 6. And then I want it to subdivide it. Doesn't need to be exact. In fact, it probably doesn't like it. But if you get it close, it'll fuse the points later. Or at least it should. If it doesn't, I'm going to be sad. There we go. Look at that. Nice curve to join these roads. Alright, let's move on. So then you fuse up these points. And polywrangle. This one is calculating the size. Oh shit, I should resample that. Resample by 4. Yeah, I think 4 is the correct. I don't know why I put 6. 4. I have it resampling by 4 just so it's constant. I should really... Oh, 5. 5 everywhere. These two should be 5. I don't think I can edit 2 at once. Oh, I can. Yeah, I learn new things every day. Alright, back here. So it's figuring out each of these polygons, or whatever, primitives, and then finding the number of points on them. And so I'll take that, create a max, which is just the maximum of the size detail, which is being created here. What does this do? It sorts it. Yeah, that's right. By attribute, and then creates the min, which you see over here. Creates there's a primitive that only has 23 points, and there's another primitive that has 463 points. Probably that one. Anyway, if you move on to this curve, you can let's get out of this view. Let's move back to perspective, and this is where you can actually decide generally where roads will be thinner and smaller later. So the red ones will be thinner, the green ones will be the average size or the middle size, and the blue ones will be the big roads. Let's do that. That looks good. I like this. Let's find out. Let's see how this works. And then I promote it just to turn it into a primitive attribute. Or no, turn it into a point. Why did I do that? Oh, because I needed the primitive data. Because I needed this attribute, but it wouldn't come through the points. I guess I could have... Wait. No, I could have. I'm confused. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. It does it based on the primitive attributes. That's what it is. And then this is where I set up where it says the scale. I call it p-scale at first, and then I promote it back to something else. Yeah, change it to offset scale. Here, you create intersections, which just creates... I don't know, this is where it is. This is where it creates additional or different paths for each of these. Like each like little road gets its own, which is useful for later. Copy color data, resample, just smooth everything, you know. I think roads that are in corners generally have a little bit of smoothness to them, so that's why I did that. This has no smooth. So this is just where you can change that. Let's see here. That's everything here. This is all locked down. Just fuses and promotes and resamples to make it different scales. Let's see what... Yeah, that's what it's looking like at this point. Alright, moving on. This is where terrain values get baked into the curves. So let's actually go back and go look at this. So right now I'm generating a desert. Oh shit. Let's go change that. Go out. Create. Let's just make a new one. Turn this off. Oh, it's still showing it because it's in that one. Yeah, let's make a... What would be interesting? A moonscape? Let's make a moonscape. Bam. Then convert height field, because I didn't do that. This attribute paint isn't necessary. It just lets you flatten things out beforehand. Let me show you actually. So this is the original. Turn it on. Oh. So you just paint on wherever you need it. and then this attribute VOP will just flatten wherever you put the values using a bunch of subtract multiplies. The bind node just the mask. I needed to invert it, so I subtracted, multiplied it, did another multiply with this value, and then plug that back into it, so the position, because it flattens it out to 0, which isn't really what you need. You need something else. You need to average it. You should average the points in each area. Whatever. So that's definitely why I'm not going to plug that in there. This is just for test anyway. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. We got this in there with geometry. Oh, this is going to be ugly. This is going to be absolutely awful. Transform? It's not even going up enough. Is it high enough now? Is it working? What do I get? I don't know. It looks like it's working. No, this is not going to work. Moonscape is not a good option. There's just too many holes in it. It's going to create some janky ass roads. Let me show you what the end result. I could go through it, but I went through it in my other video. I didn't change anything. So if you're really interested, you can go look at that, in my opinion. So this is what it's gonna generate. These are gonna be the roads. Let's find out. This is gonna be interesting. It cleaned up more than I thought it would. There are some still weird divots, but you know, let's see. Create our save point. Well, let's call it save point moon. I can just go back and re-edit that. So all the values are in here. I just had everything. And then this works, yeah, there you go. There you go. Smooth it out. Let's see here, resample, oh. Array. Oh, there is some weirdness. I figured there's gonna be some stupid ugliness. Let's see here. After much deliberation with myself, I've decided that, and this is I can just ignore this. This is not that important, because I assume someone would edit this before they put it wherever. This is not, yeah, this is in Houdini, so you wouldn't just, I don't know if you could send it straight to a game engine or something, where it generates the world, but maybe it is, I don't know. If it is like that, then obviously I'd have to look into it more, but the way I'm using this is either for just, you need just someone needs to generate just a random city for something. I guess you could generate it for a game engine, but you would clean it up, I would think. Anyway, moving on. Let's generate. I went over this before, I'm pretty sure. Bam, generates all those. Definitely whatever you want. They're light poles in my choice. So you can see what I was doing before here. Alright, so this is a skinnier road. What I did before, that's also why this area exists, is because it's trying to go from a skinny road to a thicker road. And the skinny road creates weird shapes. Thicker road. So that's why it's happening. Oh, that looks weird. I assume if you went to smooth it, that would fix it. But we're on the moon, so who gives a fuck? Yeah, look at that. This is what happens on the moon. We don't care about your gravity. Anyway, let's go move on. This, as I mentioned before, is exactly the same as the sidewalk. So if you copied the sidewalk, all you need to do is just turn it to offset curves, so you get the curves instead of the sidewalks. And then bam, you have exactly where the building should be. Just sticking out null on it. Moving on. Generate array. Popping down. Blasting stuff we don't need. Don't need the outside lines. Generate normal. There we go. You can see the flat, more or less base for each of these. You can see where everything steps up. Create a subdivision so that you create some nice looking, well, nice subjective apparently. What happened there? Is that normal? Huh. I don't know what's happening there. I've never had it not generate a face before. This is again a problem with this tool. Let's turn regularity down. There we go. Turning irregularity down fixed it. Something wrong with the irregularity at that spot. Maybe it was just a one-time thing. Because again, I'd never seen anything like that before. Oh, god damn it. Let's create more buildings. Create a ton of buildings. Do less iterations. You just gotta learn how to use this tool if you're confused. Okay, this looks like a reasonable city. Okay, so these are the buildings, and the other ones are the parks. Park, or empty lot, rather. Not parks yet, they're just empty lots on the moon, you know. I'm not gonna go over all that. Bam, generates the city. And I figured out how to reduce the goddamn number of points, so I'm not suffering. Look at that. That actually looks sweet. I'm happy with that. I was, you know, dissing it a little bit. But, you know, really hits back. Looks nice. Let's see. This is the park side. Let's see what park popped out. There we go. You know, it smoothed it how I want it to. I want it to smooth from where it touches the road inward. Still creates flat planes wherever it needs to be, but also connects directly to the road. This does very similar things. Oh yeah, let me show you this. This just generates the footprints of each building. Just because I wanted that. It's useful. What's happening here? You ugly shit. Oh, that's what's happening out here, huh? There's some ugliness happening here. Oh yeah, also ugliness happening with my nodes. Don't worry about that. So there's my blast. This is where I generate the mesh. Yeah, so on these corners there's some... It's not creating them like that. It's creating them like this. Oh well. If I wanted to, when I'm deciding the buildings, I could just force it to create this as a building, and that will generally look right. This too. Probably something like that. Force it to generate this as a lot. But I'm not going to go through the trouble of doing that. Bam, rate it down, so now it's touching the road. Oh yeah. This one is touching the real surface. This one is touching the roads. Wherever the roads are, that's where these ended up. Right on the roads. These are generating onto the surface of the moon. And then bam, do a subdivision lot subdivision on that as well. So yeah, you do end up with some weird shapes. That's no big deal. Oh well. And then similar things, generate buildings, generate lots. Look at lots. Maybe lots look nicer. Yeah, you know. Yeah, see, that's what a lot's supposed to look like. I bet it's gonna smooth, like, I bet there's a crater right here and it's smoothing it in. You know, because lots, generally in real life, they smooth in towards, you know, wherever city you are. Just because people dump dirt and whatever. People existing near stuff. Well, I guess not always, but generally. Smooths things out. I don't need this merge, but I'm gonna keep it. That's the kind of person I am. So yeah, there's some weird buildings. Some interesting... We are on the moon, so who gives a shit? Not the faint of heart. Bam, look at all our buildings. There's some nice buildings. Alright, I'm gonna pause it and generate both. I'm gonna generate all the buildings so it looks... So we don't have to wait. Alright, I came back. And, hold on. Loading. I got a sandwich. Went and did my laundry, fed the neighbor's cats, came back, finished, and realized there's an error. For some reason, it seems to have shrunk the buildings. I have nothing that's causing this. It's 100% just the building generator. Like if you see before, see after. It really look at these. These buildings don't exist anymore. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know why it's only some that are shrunk so much. Definitely something I'm gonna have to look into. It was working on the previous setup. I have to wonder if it's caused by the altitude. I mean, this is so far off the floor. The other one was basically at 0. So, anyway. Although, yeah, I guess I'll just hook it into this up here. Oh wait, this is gonna be wrong, because I have to reload that. While I wait, I'm gonna take a bite. Bam. Do the same thing here. Oh, what's going on? Save your disk. Resolving intersections. Oh, I sure hope this works. There might be an error where it flips it inside out. I guess we'll see. Nope. Worked exactly how I wanted it to. As you can see, this is looking good. It's a little bit of a process, but pretty quick. Looks mostly good. Switch it to smooth shaded. Oh, maybe not. The buildings look absolutely terrible and smooth shaded. Maybe I should do a cusp on that. But anyway, let's look here. See? It's looking pretty good, I think. And like I said, yeah, there was a crater right there, and so it extended it. Which isn't, you know, technically accurate, but oh no, there's some error here. Let me see. I mean, it's not technically an error, I just gotta increase the fuse distance here on the edges of these buildings. And should fix right up. But yeah, in the future, I expect to figure out why the building generator isn't working. Alright, I'm gonna stop recording now. Thank you for paying attention if you watch this. Stop.